Hello and welcome. This is Diana and you are watching Holistic Vibes. This is going to be a general reading, and we're just going to see what comes out, what you need to know, give you a little bit more insight. Take what resonates, leave the rest. What else? If for those of you that don't know, I am an intuitive energy healer and an alchemist. My specialty is transmutation. And yeah, I just do what I do, see what I see, and we go from there, right? Hopefully at the end of this, you do feel a little bit lighter. You feel a little bit more grounded in your body, and you get a little bit more insight in regards to like what's unfolding in your day-to-day life. Yeah. And if this reading does resonate with you, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. All right. You could have been having some issues like grounding. There's something going on with your throat chakra, and you... Okay, yeah, they just said throw some cards. We're going to show you. I mean, I see it, but they want me to show you, right? Obviously, I am talking to starseeds because that is, you know, my collective. Indigos, crystallines, those are... We are one and the same, right? Just different aspects. So you could have been going through a rebirthing process, a rebirthing phase. I mean, obviously, we are in a cycle. If these want to come out, it says healthy lifestyle and a bright future. So, and yeah, there's something definitely with like a purification. And utilizing your discernment through self-love, through self-acceptance, through the vibration of, yes, we are one, but I'm in the world, not of the world. Yes, I'm part of the collective, but that's not mine. I can love you, but I can love you from over here. So over, like, you may have felt like, it's funny because it's like, there's like, I feel like I'm on a highway and there's like 15 different like open lanes. You could, and you need to slow down. Just the FYI. Lakshmi, bright future. So you could have been taking time for yourself to kind of recalibrate, to allow yourself to like integrate within this new beginning, allowing yourself to like kind of unfold the like, what are your dreams? What do you see your future being? Bridge. Don't back down. Like, you could have started to understand, like, what are your burdens? What are the burdens of another? Who's trying to push this energy onto you, right? They're kind of showing me, I watched this clip this morning of, like, these people trying to run a mile with like the guy who ran the fastest mile. Essentially, he was like, and it was like this massive treadmill, and it was just like, the one guy like fell flat on his face, right? And like, that's honestly how last year could have felt, is like you were just struggling just to find balance, just to understand cycle, just to understand like energy frequency, just to hold on to the grasp of like, if I turn the wheel this way, what takes place? Kind of like a cause and reaction, cause and effect. Thank you. I mix up stuff all the time. I'm glad they can get it right, because like sometimes I cannot. So, like, the truth is like, this process has kind of allowed you to dig into the dirt, to understand yourself, to know thyself, to step into the frequency of, like, I hold space for you, but I will not take your burdens on as my own, right? And understanding that the people that left your life left it in divine order, right? It was kind of like oh, that's so wild. Okay, yeah, I totally hear you. It was so that you could, somebody's gonna have, like, is getting ready for babies, plain and simple. And it's like you understanding. Breathe into your heart, please. Just focus on your heart and allow that to expand. Go counterclockwise and then go clockwise, and then activate front and back, please. Thank you. Okay, you feel lighter. Somebody may have been walking in between worlds, like learning about what's it called? Astral projection. But astral projection in, like, physical form, right? So they're reminding me of, like, the diary of a is it Diary of a Yogi? Oh, the autobiography of a yogi. Thank you. And how he was saying, like, he goes to this master's house, and, like, the guy's sitting in front of him, and he says, oh yeah, you know, have a seat and somebody will be with you in just a moment. And the guy doesn't leave, like, but he blinks, and then all of a sudden the yogi that was in front of him disappears, right? And then he gets taken completely across the property, and then voila, that's the guy. And they're kind of showing me that. So maybe that's something that you've been playing with or trying to understand how to do, right? Yeah, the blending, the amalgamation of the spirit and the mind body, and understanding, like, within lucid dreaming, how you can what is it? It's not a transmutation. It's yeah, it's an amalgamation. It's a mutating of the soul and the physical body, and you're essentially activating your Ka body. And through the Ka body, when your spirit has transcended the 3D reality and you can be physical in 5D, you are essentially blending your realities, your paradigms, your shifts, through light activation, through working with the violet fire, through understanding other people's blocks and how to clear those things. You gain access to the walk in the sacred temples, right? In the sacred Templar. And then that activates your golden ray, and it's kind of like sacred geometry, but it's sacred geometry on, like, a massive level. So it's here's the thing, right? Is a lot of people don't realize that your life path dictates your access. So even when people say, oh yeah, I went to the ancient mystery schools of Egypt and I did da-da-da-da-da, right? It's still going to be very different for a 33 versus a 1. Like, even though the 1 is the one that has, like, the information, right? Because they happen to become a forerunner for some reason. Or a 3. Because you have to think, it comes with your chart, it comes with activations, and it comes with your your incarnation contracts, right? So there is that collective within a collective. And I think I've talked about this a couple of times prior. But when you go on this journey, or when you have gone on this journey, you're accessing data that others cannot. One is not going to gain the access that a 33 is. That's why there was only one Jesus, right? That's only, I can't say that for like, yeah, Kuan Yin, even though there were different incarnations of feminine energy. Yeah, they're just saying Jesus was the ultimate example. There's really no overcoming that, right? He is the ultimate 33. And it's like through your self-love and the understanding of oneness, you're activating your seed codes. You're activating your cosmic knowledge by whatever you were doing in your slowing down and your understanding that the burdens you were like, it's wild, because it's like they're showing me, like, Jesus always tells me, like, forgive them for they know not what they do, right? And there's so much conviction and so much like compassion, because they're so blinded in their 3D reality, in the physical 3D reality. And if they were to ever actually connect to the higher self, then they would also understand that compassion that his energy holds for them. Because when you overlook who they are in their current reality, and you hold space for the possibility of what they could become, right? It allows your sympathetic nerve, your sympathetic understanding of the barriers that once were, right? Because I want you to think back, or maybe this is what you've been doing, is where you were before you awoken, right? Before you went on this journey of enlightenment and this discovery. And so, like, all of the ideas that you're having that have been unfolding, make sure you're writing them down. Make sure you're voice recording them. Make sure that you're kind of documenting the things, and then don't hold on to it that, oh my God, this is just mine, right? It's all about like spreading the light and spreading the word and becoming the teacher, and allowing your knowledge to be disseminated in the way that you understand it, because your way of understanding it is not going to be the same as another's. And so as you're blending these things, and as you're kind of reconnecting the dots, like to the state of your, like the love of your life, like the loving of your life, and as you're gathering that insight and that, like, what brought me to a state where I am content in my own body, where I am helping and happy, just activating that one person as I'm walking down the street, right? I don't know, what else? I feel like there's other stuff. They're like, some more. I don't know. You've done a lot of work, though. And if you have yet to do the work, this is a heck of a journey that's going to be unfolding. But yeah, in 6 months. Yeah, you're definitely like on another level. That's for sure. So power of an intention, right? Like, what are you wanting to manifest in this next phase, right? What do you ask Ganesh to remove those obstacles, right? Ask the divine to remove those obstacles. Ask your ancestors to intervene. Because here's the other thing too, is even though you're a starseed, even though you're an indigo or crystalline, you still incarnated and picked the family you picked the DNA you picked actively, so that you could like utilize the gifts that they incarnated with. So part of like the Can you show me, what does that mean? Okay, so some of you like kind of crash coursed, like you weren't supposed to be the spirit that incarnated in the body that you have, but it was kind of like a cutting in line, because you had to get in at the time you did, and it was kind of like, whoa. So some of you may feel like you might have a brother or a sister that is your parents' favorite. And it's obvious, right? And part of it is because you literally like bulldozed your way in, and you beat them to the punch. So like they were supposed to be the 33, but instead you were like, nope. and you essentially like jumped the line. You skipped the line. And know that that's also part of the process. But part of it is because you're a more advanced soul than the sibling. And very well, the sibling could also be a master number, but they're not a master 33. Just a side note, because that's what they're telling me. So when you're working with your ancestors, and as you're going through and understanding this transmutation of energy, this projection of energy, as you're getting these cosmic codes, don't forget to go back, and even if you disliked your family, even if there was trauma that took place, still show honor to the ancestors that walked before you, right? Because not all were bad, and most of the time they loved you more than you could even imagine, even though you could not connect it to the higher self, right? Because for those of you that know past life regression, a lot of the times the people that hurt us the most in the current reality, in the 3D world, loved us the most outside of body, right? They signed up to take the hardest acting role because they knew that it would advance your soul in a tremendous amount. And so in another lifetime, they loved you so much they took on that role. So I don't know why that needed to come through. So in this next phase, surrender. Ask yourself to blend with the highest vibration of whatever soul you're connecting with. If it's your higher aspect, ask for the highest timeline that your higher self can offer to you, right? And as you know, whenever you're incorporating or working with spirits without bodies, you always want to set down boundaries and clarification that you are only working with 96% light or above, right? Because some of you out there like to work with ETs, and aliens and fairies and all that good stuff. But make sure that you are consciously activating and working with 96% light. And you want to ask that. And make sure you're just being curious and expansive. I mean, honestly, I think that you're on the right road. This is a very, very clear journey and a clear understanding of what's unfolding. But they definitely want you to work with them more. And don't back down from your journey regardless of what anybody says. Continue steadfast, because they don't have to live your life. It's all about you living your life and you impacting the way that your Kosh says, right? So just go ahead and take a deep breath from your crown all the way down to your feet, allowing all that energy to transmute, clear, release any blockages. You're going to start seeing colors coming out of your hands, by the way. It's just going to happen out of the blue. Like all of a sudden you're going to see yourself kicking somebody like gold, or somebody kicking like aqua. And it's going to happen out of nowhere. So just be aware, right? And I think I'm going to leave that there. If something in this resonated with you, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And until next time, be well, my friends. Ciao.